Weather Words with Frank Ward is a production of The Reporter, Delaware County's leading news source. This episode of Weather Words with Frank Ward is sponsored by Klinger Power Sports on West Street in Walton, your one-stop shop for outdoor recreational vehicles. Klinger services all recreational vehicles it sells. Stop in today and see how Klingers can help you enjoy the great outdoors in comfort and in style.
Good morning here on a Monday morning. I can't tell you it's delightful out here because you know what? It's only 6 degrees. Okay. Which is better than the 4 degrees it was when I got up. However, I'm not going to complain about the 4 nice warm days that we had. Only because we now have people whose driveways are looking much more like driveways. There's a lot more bare ground. I'm not going to complain. I will tell you that any place that's shady, it's like concrete. I mean, the snow got wet because it was starting to thaw, and then it froze solid. And all the pathways you walked on while there was snow, they're now sheets of ice. You know what? You still got to watch where you step. But now you can step into the bare spots, and that's not really so bad. You know, those 4 warm days were 45, 41, 49. And even on Saturday morning when you got up, it was pretty nice outside. In fact, we actually got to 44 degrees. But that was at 11 o'clock in the morning. And then the wind suddenly went from south to north. The winds picked up, and the temperature plunged all the rest of the day. Still wasn't too bad on Saturday night because we were at 20, and that didn't seem too bad at all. However, yesterday wasn't very nice at all. You woke up and we had single digits. We only got to 20 degrees. Snow showers, not a lot, just enough to make you say, yeah, it's still winter out there. All day long. And then last night wasn't very pleasant at all, but they were predicting it was going to be really cold. So that's where you bring some extra firewood in, you close all the drapes and everything else, you put 2 extra logs on the fire, and you woke up this morning and like I said, 4 degrees. Now, believe it or not, tomorrow is going to be a normal day. We'll probably get up and it'll be upper teens, maybe low 20s. We'll probably get to the low 30s tomorrow afternoon. And then, believe it or not, there's a warm front coming. Expect Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday's going to be maybe low 40s. Thursday, we could hit 50 or 51. That will get rid of most of the rest of all this ice. Those 2 days will probably, because understand, bare ground heats up faster than snow. Snow's white, it reflects energy and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully there's enough bare ground to heat up and get rid of what's left. Because where is it bad? If we can take the camera for a second, any place that's shady still has huge patches of ice. Of course, where are they? Right in front of the barn, right where I park my car. You know what? I'm hoping that all disappears. Because during Thursday afternoon and night, during the rain, that sounds wonderful, but you're liable to wake up on Friday morning and what's left of the rain is going to turn to snow, and there's a cold front coming. Okay, that means everything that's soggy is now going to freeze. But you know what? The ground's sort of thawed out enough that what's going to fall maybe soaks in enough that, yeah, the ground will be frozen, but maybe it won't be slippery. That would be kind of nice. Understand we are getting into nicer days. However, right now the woolly bear caterpillars were totally wrong. A little bit of black meant it wasn't going to get cold. Well, I'll tell you, these last 6 weeks, it hasn't been cold. We've had more below 0 days over those 6 weeks than we've had in a very long time. Okay, that could change. We are looking at a rather snowless winter. I mean, we've plowed the driveway twice. The other times where it's 1.5 inches here and 1.5 inches there, and that actually made it easier driving up and down over the ice, okay? However, remember, there's still a good 6 weeks of winter for us, okay? You have the last 2 weeks of February, March, which is usually, believe it or not, one of our snowiest months, and even sometimes into early April. We'll see what happens. However, they were also wrong at the moment with the amount of precipitation we're supposed to get, because we were short in January. Right now, we're quite a bit short in February. Okay, Of course, that sounds like last year, and I didn't like that because you saw what happened the rest of the year. So we'll have to wait and see what Mother Nature does this time. However, do prepare for it to warm up and then get cold. Understand when warm and cold air meet each other, something happens. And that's why we're going to get into the 50s, but then it's going to rain on Thursday. Unfortunately, for the south part of the country, this now starts their violent weather season. So all this warm and cold air as the two different jet streams, it's a southern jet stream and one that comes down from the north. And when they get close to each other, you get your thunderstorms, you get your tornadoes, you get your high-speed winds and everything else. They're just entering into that season right now. The other bad part is for poor California. You had an entire wet December. Everybody goes, oh good, the drought is over. Some of those places in California didn't get a drop of rain during January, and some got 0.2 and 0.1, and the snowpack diminished and everything else is like, okay. And right now, there's a big high pressure sitting there that shouldn't be there. Okay, it should be farther north. It's directing all the storms away from California. So, is that going to increase the drought, which was getting better? Don't have an answer to that either. Except let's just say it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because a lot of your vegetables come from out there. They need water. If there's no water, you can't irrigate. If you can't irrigate, you don't have vegetables. You take the other places, if you get horrible flooding and everything else, you can't plow the fields. I mean, this is a bad time for agriculture at the moment. Let's hope Mother Nature gives us a good upcoming year. Those that had vegetable gardens last year can do what I do. What a disaster. I mean, it really was. Everything rotted. Okay? So anyway, the one thing I like about the weather and all the years I've been doing it, it changes daily. So we'll see what comes next. But warm up after today, cool down for the weekend. And strangely enough, I don't know if you noticed, but we're in the gibbous moon right now. You know what? If you look over the last 6 months, every time we've had a full moon, we have a horrible storm. Well, you know what? The full moon's going to be the beginning part of next week. Let's see what nature does. And then I'll let you in on, does it really affect our weather? Because they're now believing that, yes, it does. So I'll fill you in on that too. But right now, live through what we've got. Hope the ice disappears. Hope we don't get terrible rain to freeze everything over. And we'll live with what's there. After all, we can't do anything about it. Have a good day.
Shop Klinger Power Sports in Walton today.